All right, boys, we are back. Chong is hiding in the background over there. He's texting the group right now. So, yeah, we're back, episode 288, and we had our vacation, right? I'm actually leaving on vacation tomorrow, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But the fact is, got through the holiday season here. Hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas. Hope all our viewers did too. Great New Year, 2026. Let's hope we have a lot of fun, exciting things. Last year, it seemed like there was a lot of tragedy. Let's hope that's not quite as much this year, is kind of what I'm hoping. But episode 288, let's start with this. So, Bert, number one, how are you feeling? I know you took some time off at the end. Your ticker was giving you some hard times. Probably Chonga's fault, picking on you all the time. Probably, but how you feeling?
I am feeling good. I'm actually going to be going back to work on Monday. So I've been off of work since November 22nd. So it's been a while since I've been there, so it's going to be a little bit different. But no, I'm feeling good. I wound up. Long story short, um, I had a heart cath done, and they found blockages. That was on a Tuesday, and the following Monday I had quadruple bypass surgery. So um, it was something that moved along quickly once we found it.
Yeah. Bypass surgery is pretty routine. Quadruple bypass surgery, not quite as routine, right, as one bypass. But glad you're okay. Glad to have you back, and glad you're feeling well. Changa, how about you?
Bert,
How things in your
Bert,
house?
I mean, does it cause you any stress that the Packers are starting their backup quarterback in the playoffs?
No, not at all.
Okay, okay.
So I did look. I
At,
looked
at,
ahead.
at, at least they get the starter quarterback in the playoffs.
Fair
Well,
enough.
I, I
Fair
I
enough.
looked ahead, and I'm pretty sure the Vikings and the Packers have the same opponent in week two of the playoffs. At least I'm hoping. At least I'm hoping. The Vikings are just getting down to Cancun and stuff a week earlier, right? So they get preferential. They'll get the good rooms, ocean
They
front.
enjoy the golfing before
Yeah,
everybody gets there, before the
yeah. When the
smelly people
Packers
get
get
there.
down there, they're gonna have them interior rooms facing the garbage cans in the back because the Vikings are there a week early. So there's
Oh.
positives, right?
I mean, I don't expect the Packers to go to the Super Bowl. They just have too many injuries. Tucker Kraft on offense, Micah Parsons and stuff.
Hold on,
But,
wait,
but,
hold on.
but.
Can I rate? Can I rate these excuses down? You want me
Well,
to
no,
write these down?
It's not an
What else you
excuse.
got?
I'm just saying I don't expect them to go to the Super Bowl because of the injuries. But anything can happen
Good
when you're
chair.
in the playoffs. So we'll see.
Anything is
I
possible,
like
right,
your
Bert?
attitude, Bert.
Anything is possible. Yeah,
So,
you know what sucks? The Vikings did Vikings things, right? They get knocked out of the playoffs early, and it's like, hey, let's go on a 5-game meaningless win streak at the end, so that way we can have the dead last draft pick out of all the non-playoff teams. That is full
Well,
on Vikings things right there.
and then the Packers helped them out the final week by having a scrimmage with them.
eh,
True, pretty much. It was like a preseason game.
Yeah.
Changa, how are things in your household? How's hockey going for the little guy?
well, the hockey's not going too bad. We're on a stretch right now of like 5 tournaments in 6 weeks. So we're heading out on Friday to Chippewa Falls for a tournament and see how that goes. But yeah, it's been busy. But we had an outdoor practice tonight that got canceled because it was 40 degrees here today. So
Yeah, when people say global warming and all that, there might be a little something to that. I don't go down all that path, but all I know is when I was a little kid, like in peewees and squirts and all that, we practiced outside all the time. I mean, hell, we had games outside, and now the way the seasons are working, like you said, they had to cancel practice. We're in January, and they
right.
canceled practice because it's too warm outside. So
Well,
I
and
don't, I don't. Are you complaining though about 40-degree weather in January in Superior?
no, no, not at all. There was sheets of snow flying off the roof at work, landing on parked cars. I'm like, oh shit, this isn't good. I mean, we got to move some cars or something here. Um, Otherwise, things are good on the home front. I wanted to tell Uper there again. Uper, you're always listening. Uh, this 40-degree weather's got us down to about 0.25 inches of snow in the Northland here. So I know that makes you excited to hear.
I was talking to a buddy of mine in Louisiana tonight, and he sent me a picture of him out mowing the lawn. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that up here. That's
I
for
don't want to
sure.
do that either, but
Now I will be in warm weather tomorrow. So I've had this cough, guys, since the last time I was in Arizona, like what, a month ago?
yeah, leave it there this time.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm bringing it back to mom and dad. I don't want to get them sick, but I got it down there. I'll give it to somebody, maybe on the plane. I don't know. But yeah, I'm actually heading down tomorrow, and it's Wednesday now, so Thursday I'm flying out. Uper's going down too, and Carl, so I'll see them guys. I think Pete's going down as well. So I'll see all them down there. So we're gonna go catch some racing at the Wild West Shootout with Dad, and get some golfing in, and have some fun for 2 weeks. I'm gonna be down in Arizona.
Holy smokes! You're
And
not going to go join that pool party with Uper, are you?
100%. Yep.
Did you
Yep.
bring
Is
the Speedo?
Banana hammocks. That's what we do, man. That's
No,
what
no.
we do.
He told me he's got a skin colored one with an easy access hole.
Well, that's why we're leaving Bert home. He's the most eligible bachelor on the show. We're going to leave him home, right? Save some for the rest of us.
is Uper going to watch the features from his truck?
Absolutely,
Pretty
absolutely.
sure. Pretty sure. He did say, holy cow, they started like 3:30. I might be able to make it through a whole night. I'm going to say probably not. Probably not. I'm going to say that he goes out to the truck. If the late models race first, okay, and I don't know the running order tomorrow, if the late models race first, he will be gone. But this is on Saturday. He will not watch the mods or Midwest mods if the late models race first. He'll leave for that.
I'm going to
That
guess
should
he's
be
going to leave anyway because he's a sprint car guy. Oh.
right. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. So this episode, guys, brought to you by Impact Health Sharing, and holy crap, are things flying with that? I mean, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but healthcare costs in this country have absolutely skyrocketed out of control. It is ridiculous. I know people that have their rates have gone up 25, 30% over what they were last year. So families are paying 1,500 to $2,000 a month. Absolutely, it's almost criminal what these health insurance companies are charging people. I'm a capitalist at heart. I am. I believe that I believe in capitalism, not in healthcare, right? I mean, that does not help anybody to raise them rates up beyond the point to where people can even afford to go to the doctor. That is absolutely mind-boggling. Fortunately, I have a solution that is fantastic for some people. Right now, I'll be honest, if you got pre-existing conditions, major medical in the last 3 years, what I have probably not going to be a good fit for you, right? But if you don't, if you're pretty healthy, Impact Health Sharing is saving people a pile of money. We're looking at rates, guys, $650 a month for a family compared to $1,500 to $2,000, $2,500 household deductible. A lot of places are paying 5, 6, 7, 8,000 on their deductible. So it's a fantastic deal. It's not traditional health insurance. It's a health sharing company, works exactly the same way. Hit me up if you want some info or a no obligation quote, 218-969-1380. Hit me up on Messenger. However you want to get a hold of me, I can get you some information, see if we can save you some money. What do you say? What do you say we start with some WISSOTA news? Let's start with some WISSOTA news, okay? Finally, they hired the new head of WISSOTA Teching for WISSOTA. Now, first of all, at least they got it done, okay? Should have been done before the annual meetings, wouldn't you think, right? They should have probably announced this before the meetings and had that person involved with that process. But nope, they did not. So they hired a guy, Bert, you might recognize this name, Rick Tennis. You probably seen him race late model back in the day. He ran ARCA a little bit.
Or I would pronounce it Thonies.
Tony's, yeah, Thoennis.
But
Thoennis.
yes, I remember watching him race at the WISSOTA 100 when we'd go there.
Yep. So, he did quite well in late model back in the day. I believe it was ARCA that he did for a year or two as well. I don't think it was ASA. I think it was ARCA, one of the two, asphalt deal, right? So he jumped up into that. And to the best of my knowledge, he hasn't been involved with racing other than going to one or two races a year for 2 decades. Like literally, not even as a fan, not even going, right? So weird process here. Okay. So now I'm going to say this. I don't know Rick Tennis. I know people that do. and I got a mixed bag, so everything's secondhand. Some people said level-headed, very smart individual, right? So that's great. Some people are saying, he could be a hot hit. I don't know. I've never met him, never had a conversation. I've seen him race just like Bert has, okay? But the process was I would think that the Wissota board as an entity, the Wissota board, would be in charge of hiring their employees. Wouldn't that make the most sense as an organ? Isn't that why you have a board? The board hires the employees. I'm just saying, right? Now, again, I'm not bagging on Rick Tennis because I don't know the guy. He could be absolutely fantastic. He could be great. I don't know. Okay, but they had a few board members. They had a couple hand-picked random promoters, and nothing against these promoters, but I had other promoters reach out to me and be like, "Well, what makes this promoter any better than me in making decisions? Why didn't they call me?" Okay, they had Chris Steppen was on the deal, and this ain't nothing. This ain't banging on Chris, okay? But he's a Wissota employee. He's in charge of the challenge series. Why is he on the hiring committee for a tech guy? How's this work? You don't know anything about a car. What are we doing, right? So I don't know. Weird process that they put together, okay? But then on top of it, no teching experience. Okay, maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad because we've been banging on tech. I have been hammering on tech guys forever. This guy ain't screwed anything up yet, so that's great.
If he was good at racing, he knows a little bit about being tacked.
Yeah. 20 years ago, right? So, the fact of the matter is, there's 8 classes, guys, in Wissota. There's 8 classes. He raced a late model. I'm not saying the guy's dumb, but if you've been involved with racing for that whole duration of time and had been a tech guy, understanding every single rule there is to know about 8 classes of cars is hard enough for people that have been involved. This guy ain't been involved. What does he know about a Hornet, a Mod 4? What does he know about a super stock? I don't know, right? So based on conversations, there's people concerned about that. There was multiple people that were in the process that got interviewed, and I don't know. Like I said, this guy could be great. He could absolutely be great. But to me, it seems weird, right? I would have thought that they would have taken somebody that had more experience and been like, hey, we're going to put you in charge here for a trial period for a year or two, and then bring this guy kind of to come in and, hey, I'm going to travel with you and kind of learn the whole process and learn all these classes before you put him in charge of everything. That would make sense to me. I mean, you got Rob from over in Wisconsin, and you got Pogo. I mean, there's multiple people, but yeah, they just they pulled the ripcord and they said you're the guy, and it was weird. And again, I have no idea if he's going to be good, bad, or indifferent. I can tell you he's shaking some shit up though. He got the internet buzzing yesterday. I don't know if you saw that online, Bert. Did you happen to see that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
No.
boy, did he get some things going. All right. So we've been talking for years that the Wissota street stocks should go to a Burt transmission, open transmission, Burt, Brand, Falcon, whatever, right? Without question, that's the right direction to go. Without question. Um, because these automatic transmissions are made for bringing grandma to the grocery store, right? Not racing a car. So at the annual meeting in November, the tech committee, comprised of a number of people, they came up with a plan and they said, all right, we're going to phase this deal in. And their initial thing that they put out, right, was 2027, Birch, Brins, all that. That's going to be legal, but we're going to phase that in, and in 2026, you're going to take your automatic transmission, remove the converter, make it direct drive deal. Okay. Well, at the time, I'm like, boy, is that stupid, right? Like, why are you making these drivers spend 2, 3, 400, however much, somewhere in that range to update their transmissions to use for 1 year and then make them change again the next year? That makes zero sense whatsoever, right? Long story short, that's what they decided. They got a hold of area transmission builders and they said, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do. So these transmission builders, they got a plan in place, right? They're like, all right, we know what we got to do. They went out and bought a bunch of parts. got themselves all set up. Hell, a lot of drivers already got their transmissions converted. So they're like, people already spending money. He comes in, and just like I said when I first saw it, he's like, well, this is stupid. What are we doing? Right? And he's right. He's right. And he's like, we ain't having no dumb phase. Why are we making all these drivers spend all this money, and then we're gonna like make them spend money next year? What are we doing here? Right? Well, he's spot on. He's right. But boy, late to the party. See, this is on WISSOTA. This ain't on Rick. This is on WISSOTA. Had they made this decision and he would have been there in November, he could have been part of this decision-making process, and they might not have done that extra step that just now cost, transmission shops, some drivers, cost them a bunch of money, right? Well, there's a little bit more to the story. They're going to the spec bell housing that the Midwest mods use. Do you think that it would have been good to maybe call those vendors a couple months early and say, hey, we're changing the rules. All our street stock guys are going to be ordering these bell housings here and transmissions. Well, now we're all the way into January, 2 months later, and that's 2 months that the supply is not there. Nobody had made any calls to make sure that there was enough parts and all that in place to even make this rule change now. So she's a hot mess. Ultimately, I think it's the right decision. I think it's too late. I think it should have happened a lot earlier. But Chonga, you've been around racing. I mean, you ran them automatic transmissions. I mean, what do you think? This Burt deal is a way better deal for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're bulletproof. I mean, they let and I guess I never seen them in a 3,200 pound car, but as far as I've ever had any dealings with them, they're pretty much bulletproof.
Right, right. So that's him welcoming himself. Hey, put the dog. We want to see the dog too, Bert. Why do you got to be selfish? There we go. There we go. There's our buddy right there. There's our mascot. All right. Everybody likes a dog. Everybody likes a dog. You share that with everybody here, right? So
You see this? Now you know what he did. He got younger. He lost 15 pounds. Now he's holding the dog up to the camera. Most eligible bachelor. He's
I
on the
always hold the
promo.
dog
you
up to
see this,
not
ladies?
to the
Bert,
camera.
you
Bert's
see
on
this,
the
ladies?
prowl.
Bert, lean, mean, podcasting machine, and animal lover, right? Soft side to him right here. This guy, I mean, I'm telling you, this is the real deal right here, ladies. This is a guy. So, speaking of teching, you guys watch anything from the Tulsa shootout? Bert, did you see anything or?
I watched some of the features on Saturday.
Yeah. So how about that 14-year-old kid, Jet Lantis? See that he wins. I don't remember what class it was. There was like 50 of them, so I'm not sure what's which. DQ'd for multiple infractions.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the deal. There is a lot of controversy going on with that deal. A lot. There's engine builders that have nothing to do with them coming to bat and saying that deal there that he has going on is we all everybody does that. Everybody does the same thing. There's something with the gears like a ceramic bearing or whatever that in AMA it's perfectly legal, right? And I think it's an oversight. So it's not just WISSOTA that has drama in teching. It's everywhere, and it's. I feel bad for the kid. A 14-year-old kid didn't have a freaking clue what the hell was in the deal, but sounds like there's a lot of controversy. Could be some lawsuits. I mean, it's a hot mess. So it's not just WISSOTA. It's not IMCA. It's everything. A few people got caught doping tires down there. They did full on tire tests. Changa.
Did you see that deal with the machine that was there that they claim it has a laser in it that can apparently detect dope tires?
I did, and a lot of people skeptical of it. So interesting to see how it's going to play out.
Oh, boy,
Well, I would.
that'd be a
Oh,
nice
go
deal if
ahead.
they could get something like that to work, and going forward, and someday maybe making it a handheld device, even. I mean, years
Right,
down the road.
right.
Well, is that what they use to test the tires? Because I was surprised at how quick the results came back. Because normally for the Lucas and World of Outlaws, it's like a month later that, or a couple months later, that you find out that somebody was DQ'd for dope tires.
At least a
They were
week.
they were using them, and I'm not familiar. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing, but Blue Ridge Labs
Blue
is the
Ridge
one
is probably
report
there.
card. Yeah, so I'm assuming they were, because remember last year at the Chili Bowl, two drivers got caught at the Chili Bowl and they got caught like a day later or whatever. They were
Okay.
so I don't know this. This be something to research here this week before the Chili Bowl. I think they have a lab set up there, because understand the lab, they don't have a building. They don't have. I mean, Blue Ridge Labs is somebody's house. That's like a basement bedroom in their house. That's all Blue Ridge Labs is. Have you ever? I'll send you a picture. I got a picture of the actual house that it is. It's not a building. It's not a business. It's not a lab of any kind. It's literally in the basement at somebody's house. That's what Blue Ridge Labs is. So not saying they can't do a good job, in their basement or whatever, but it just interesting deal. But I'm assuming, boy, they had to be there because they came back. I mean, very quick. So I'm assuming, and I'm guessing they're there through the duration of the Chili Bowl, is what I'm guessing. Because if you remember Governor, right? I think Governor and Youper both picked cheaters. We don't do that. We don't do that. Um, but they both picked cheaters last year and got
Oh
booted.
no, that guy that got DQ'd, he had an engine infraction, a transmission infraction.
Yeah, there was a third one too. I don't remember what it
Right,
was.
but he's not allowed to run the Chili Bowl now. And so I believe one of our people drafted him.
Is that what they said? He's not allowed to run Chili
I
Bowl?
heard that on Dirt Tracker Daily today that he's not allowed to run the Chili Bowl. I think one of our people might have drafted him.
Oh, they did. They did. That's something that maybe Bert can look up to see who picked Jet Lantis. I think it might have been Bromance, actually. I think it was Bromance, because I think
I
he
don't, yeah.
said,
Well, somebody, I don't know who, but somebody drafted him because they said anybody who has the name Jet has to be fast.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right. I remember that dialogue.
yeah, Bromance starting out with a driver that ain't even going to be there, evidently. So we'll see. Maybe he can get that overturned. I hope he can race. 14-year-old kid, let the kid race. I mean, what are we doing? He already got penalized. He already lost a win. Who cares? Let him race the next race. They're unrelated. One's micros, one's midgets. Who cares? But I guess we'll see what happens. That's something to look into as well. How about a shout out to our buddy Brad Parson? Brad Parson, Soil and Egg Solutions. So obviously we're in the middle of winter right now, but every farmer out there, they're looking ahead already to planting. Right, you got to get a plan in action. Brad Parson has everything you need, from planting season through the summer, in the fall, everything you need to get that desired yield that you want for the crops that you're planting in the ground, right? Give him a call, 320-219-3542. And remember, Brad's a racer. He's part of this racing community. If you're watching the show, you are too. Why not give Brad a call, learn about the products he has, and see if they can help you be more successful, more profitable in 2026. That's Brad Parsons, Soil and Egg Solutions. A couple off-season rumors here. Well, one big one kind of going around on, saw it on Dirt Tracker Daily. I saw a couple different things, but little bit of a buzz about Superman Jonathan Davenport, right? Some speculation. Nothing confirmed. And it's silly season, so you kind of always have that with people rolling in, right? But they're like, well, he might not run Lucas. Well, he might run World of Outlaws. Well, he might just run non-series at all. Any guesses? You guys got any guesses on what he's going to do, Bert? What do you think he's going to go Lucas, World of Outlaws, or do you think he's just going to kind of go back to that outlaw schedule and run whatever he wants and do that?
Um, I'll just say he'll stay in the Lucas tour, but if he doesn't stay in the Lucas tour, I would say he'll run an outlaw schedule instead of an outlaw. I mean, uh, independent outlaw schedule
Independent, yeah.
rather than joining the world of outlaws.
Okay. How about you, Chunga? What do you think?
I agree. I think he's going to stay Lucas. I mean, no, they went back to the normal point structure. And then not only that, but they still got their little chase format. I don't know if you saw that.
Yep.
The last 8 races, I think the top 5 guys in the points are eligible for a bunch of extra, like, $125,000 or something. I think it makes most sense. He'll probably stay there. I feel like there's zero chance he's going World of Outlaws. I could see a world where he does the pick and choose thing. I wish he would go World of Outlaws, because then I just, it balances out the two series a lot better. You got a couple of heavy hitters in each series, and it would probably make it more fun. But yeah, no, I think he'll be in Lucas at the end of the day.
I'd love to see him go to the World of Outlaws, because that would strengthen that up. But I don't know. I mean, you look at the pros and cons here, right? So he had an opportunity to win the Lucas that came right down to the wire. I mean, he was close. He just about got it done. And even if they had the traditional format, him and RTJ kind of bounced back and forth between first and second most of the season, so that was pretty entertaining. Um, for most people, there's a big benefit, right, to running a series and being a contracted driver. I mean, you get the free wristbands, I think 6 of them or whatever to get in, big discount on tires, guaranteed provisionals. You get that tow money and all that. You get all that guaranteed. But if you're on top of your game, if you're like a guy that, I mean, how many times would you say that Jonathan Davenport even needed a provisional last year? I didn't look into it, but it couldn't have been many, right?
No. Yeah, I don't
Rare.
know how many, but it couldn't have been many.
Yeah. So I mean, he's the guy that could get away with doing that and not really have to fall back on, that provisional type deal.
He did that as $2 million year.
Right. Yeah, correct. Kyle Bronson, on the other hand, he tried that independent schedule, and nothing against Kyle Bronson. He's got some good shows every once in a while, but he's that year that when he did that independent schedule, it about wrecked him because he couldn't even make a feature. He was not getting in. He was going home half the time, and so you better be dang sure of what you're doing. The benefit of not locking into a series is every driver's got tracks that they do not like, right? They're like, that place sucks. I don't even want to look at that place, but I have to go, right? Well,
Turbo does all right with it.
yeah, he's got that independent schedule. Now, and no disrespect to Turbo, he ain't Jonathan Davenport, right? Turbo's a hell of a regional guy, though. Really good regional racer, Hell Tour stuff. I mean, he's really good on that.
And he has his tracks where he runs good at that he can
Yeah,
compete
he's
with.
still he can have the occasional run up front in the national stuff, but not super consistent. JD is a consistent front runner on a national scene. He'd flat out dominate the Hell Tour, right? I mean, it just is what it is. But the fact is, yeah, you're right. I mean, that he's got that fun tour Turbo does, and he's like, I kind of race where I want to race, and that's kind of freeing, right? Because it's like you're not stuck into something, and you're not racing just for the points. You're now it's like more enjoyable because you like the places you're going to. So it'll be
Well,
interesting to see.
And you're yeah.
and you don't have to go on these swings to different parts of the country that are a long ways away from your base. So it would save you some travel costs if you don't want to go on those long swings.
Yeah, especially the ones that are the 12,000 to win 15,000.
Right.
If you go up to them swings and they're 50, that's fine.
And
Um,
let's be honest. We all, as a driver, you race different when you're chasing points than when you doing the fun tour, just trying to win night in and night out.
Boy, that is spot on too, because you're thinking in your head, if I'm running second, you're like, man, this is a hell of a good point night right here. I'm not going to do anything stupid. Locked down, rubbered up track. You can take a chance and try to get the win. If you lose 3-4 spots, well, whatever. We're trying to win the race, but you are absolutely correct. If you're points racing, you 1,000% race different than if you're just trying to go out there and win. And you see that, right, when Bobby Pierce running Lucas or RTJ's running World of Outlaws, they're both aggressive anyway, but they can be more aggressive when they're just trying to win the race. So there's something to that. Have we seen any news on Tanner English? Has he found a home yet?
I haven't
I
saw
have not seen
anything.
anything.
How about Dalton Wilson?
Dalton Wilson's going to run the Big Frog car
The
this
big
year,
frog car.
and
Okay.
I'm not positive, but I think he's going to run Lucas with the Big Frog team.
Did I see something about Madden too?
Madden is now the well, what's the car that Gustin runs?
Yeah, he's with Wells. Okay,
Yeah, he's the Infinity House car.
Okay, that's right. He's always landing somewhere, ain't he?
And that might be helpful to a team like Gustin, just having someone that knowledgeable in the host team. It couldn't hurt the program, right?
Madden's smart, right? I mean, that'll
Mhm.
probably help Gustin. I'm not saying Gustin's not smart, but having another quality top tier driver that you can maybe get a little info from probably make the whole team better, right? So
No, so what? Cody Overton, he's on his own now. But it does sound like the gentleman that owned the team last year is kind of helping in the background a little bit. God, there was a couple other names, and I don't remember who, but I didn't make a list of who's committed to what tour, but there's a
I
couple
did
of interesting new ones.
I did see Tim McCready posted he'll be following the Outlaws again this year.
He did. He did.
Yep.
Let's take a pause here. I want to give a shout out to our friends up in Ashland, Wisconsin. Fastlane Motorsports and Powder Coating. Chris and the gang up there, proud sponsors of the Northland Superstock Series. Big things planned for that series in 2026, including the Tardy Memorial, July 10th up in Hibbing, 67-67 to win. Shameless plug there, by the way. But Fastlane Motorsports and Powder Coating build the Galloper chassis. They do custom fabricating, sandblasting, powder coating. They can get any part you need. They can drop ship it to your house. They have a beautiful storefront there right in Ashland, Wisconsin. They service a lot of racetracks. Really good people up there in Ashland. For all your racing needs, give them a call. That's Fastlane Motorsports and Powder Coating of Ashland, Wisconsin. So, how about Kubota, guys? In big splash, threw a bunch of money at dirt track racing, and poof, they gone. They go. What happened there?
Well, so you told me when I talked to you this afternoon to look into this, and I don't know if there's anything to this, but the 2 minutes worth of research that I was able to put in it said late in 2025, Shingo Hanada succeeded Yuchi Kitoas as president and CEO of Kubota, and that was a late fall change. Now I don't know if that has anything to do with the direction of the company, but they did have some mergers with a company stateside and in Japan. Obviously the focus is going in a different direction. They're taking that money and putting it somewhere else. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but there has been a change as far, in the higher ups at Kubota.
Yeah, because I mean that was the title sponsor, of course, right to the High Limit Series, and I know they were
And well,
big
and
sponsors of Joseph Joyner. Did they sponsor Hunt the Front Series as well?
Yep. And
and
Dirt
didn't
Tracker
they
Daily.
And yep,
didn't they sponsor Rico also?
I
Yeah.
think they did. Yeah, yep, yeah, you're correct. They did. So, yeah, very interesting move. Hey, we're thankful for any business that comes into dirt track racing, throws some money around and helps the sport out for sure. Hopefully down the road, hopefully, they come back into the sport. That would be nice. We don't want to see them gone forever. So I don't think we've done a show since PRI. And one of the big announcements there, of course, Flow acquiring the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series. So is anything going to change there really? Because I think they're kind of keeping the main people, like Rick Schwally's still the person running Lucas Oil. I mean, should we expect any significant change? I mean, they obviously changed the point structure back to the traditional, like World of Outlaws. They're going to have a bonus deal in there from Big River Steel for a chase format at the end. Do you think there's some changes coming, whether it's some bigger marquee races or should we expect anything?
I don't know if I anticipate a whole lot this year. My initial thought was what's going to happen to that Castro Flow Night in America series is how is that going to change? But it sounds like it's going to kind of be the status quo as far as I've heard so far.
Yeah, what's interesting, right, is so the Castro Flow Racing Night in America, so Flow owning that, they're sponsored by Lucas Oil still, and that was probably part of the sale because I don't know what there's actually is as far as like a financial transaction to sell a series. I mean, I don't know what that entails. I would assume that a big part of that was we remain title sponsor for X amount of years. I think it was 3. I think is what I saw, but they remain title sponsor, and that was part of that transaction. I'm guessing, and I'm sure they'll kick some money towards it. But yeah, you got Lucas Oil series, right, owned by Flow, and then you got Castrol Flow Racing Night in America. That's like 2 competing entities there in the same playground there. I'm sure they'll still have that series. Should we expect to see Castrol? I mean, I mean, I guess they're not really the same series. So, I mean, should we, but would you expect Castrol to maybe be a little, have their feelings hurt by that deal, or what? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, my initial thought was just okay, flow and flow. So I mean, does this make sense? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it probably wasn't. It ain't any different now than it was before. Probably, I don't think.
I mean, put it this way: these companies they get butt hurt. I mean, I remember up in Superior, they're sponsored by an oil company. The Superior Speedway was named after an oil company, right? And
Hmm.
lo and behold, they had a series, not a series, but they had a local promoter that has his own specials in the area come in and did a show, and Schaefer's Oil was the sponsor of that deal. And well, long story short, AMSOIL said, "Oh, we don't necessarily need to sponsor the track anymore." So, you know, so a lot of that could be an interesting dynamic right there. It'll be interesting to see how that works out with the Lucas. Now, Lucas is more additives, isn't it? Do they have? I guess I don't know if they have regular oil as well, but that'll be interesting to see if they can play nice together and maintain some stuff going on. World of Outlaws, didn't they? They lost their title sponsor, didn't they? And
Yes.
now
Yeah.
now they're self sponsored. They got it's Dirt Vision, right? Right now, I think is what it is, which all of that's owned by World Racing Group. Um, what do we think about all this, right? I mean, that World of Outlaws has been struggling, right, to maintain long-term title sponsorships for that series. Why is that?
That's a good question. It hasn't been as big a thing on the sprint car side as the late model side, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a minute since they've had, a steady late model sponsor. And, from things that I've read or heard on different shows, they're really not even concerned about it. That they make it sound like the title sponsor is just kind of a minor deal and having it. I mean, not a minor deal, but monetarily, it's not as big as one would think. And like Dirt Vision is going to probably be the title sponsor until they find someone else, and they're perfectly content with that from the sounds of it.
Yeah, I mean, World Racing Group, and you take the Flow as an entity too, but World Racing Group as an entity is massive. They have a lot of different businesses under that one umbrella, so they're probably not hurting financially. But let's be honest, they're still in business, right? And in business, you still want to create more profit, and having a title sponsor in place that's not yourself is definitely going to be more profitable for the entity. So you would think they'd probably be looking for something.
What is the, and I don't remember what it is, but like Dirt Vision, World Racing Group, they're affiliated with I don't know if it's a midgets or a sprint car series. I forget what it's called. If it's
World Racing, well, World of Outlaw sprint cars, and then they
no,
have
no,
the
no.
Extreme Outlaw midgets.
Yes, yes. So from what I understood, that series is just taking a kick in the pants for 26. It's going down to like a half a dozen races.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
I don't know if that's a financial decision, but they and then going forward beyond 26, they don't know what's going to become of it.
Well, they're trying to compete. I don't know if they're running against USAC, but essentially,
Kind
let's
of.
face it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about midgets, right?
Mm-hmm.
USAC is the monster in that deal, right?
100%.
That's it's their playground. So, I mean, ultimately, if they're trying to compete against them, that would be a bad thing. I'm assuming their schedule kind of worked around the USAC schedule. I mean, I'm guessing. I guess I don't know that for sure. Um, Josh Rice got himself a pit guy changa.
Randall Edwards, right? Longtime crew chief. I believe he was with Sheppy when he was in the Longhorn House car, right? And I think he was probably with Overton prior to that, maybe even, right?
Well, he was with Turbo.
Was he with
Well, he was
Turbo?
with
Okay.
Turbo, and then he left Turbo, and then he went to Garrett Smith, but that didn't last too long. And then he bounced around to some other teams.
Yeah, weird something not lasting long in the Garrett Smith camp. Weird. Shocker right there. Um, but Randall Edwards been around a long time, and let's face it. So we've talked about this extensively on the show. If you have a good, experienced, knowledgeable crew chief, right, that is going to that'll make it easier. I'm not going to say that's bam, you're automatically going to win races. But if you have that good dynamic, you have somebody that's been there, done that, knows what they're doing, somebody that can kind of steer the ship. Randall Edwards probably going to. That's a huge asset to Josh Rice, because Josh Rice, hell of a race car driver. That kid's gonna be fun to watch. Gonna sell a lot of T-shirts. Gonna rip a lot of deck tins off, spoilers, right, recorder panels. He's gonna throw a lot of sliders, right? But the fact is, he hasn't raced at all these tracks. This is a rookie season for him. He's been to some of them. He hasn't been to most. So now you get a crew chief in there that has been with multiple people to every single one of these tracks on the schedule. Probably almost every single one of them anyway. Massive, massive. That's a big, big deal for Josh Rice. So looking forward to him out there this year on tour. And we talked about RTJ. He's got Burrows back, right? So that's a asset to him as well. One person looking for some help, Dan Ebert. Dan Ebert, I talked to good buddy of his here this past a week or so ago, and they're looking. They got a couple guys that fell off their crew, and basically it sounds like the biggest reason. I think Justin Fremming traveled with him last year, and he got a really good job, his family-owned business. I think it's a 6-figure payday close to home, and now he can get back to racing again. So he's like, I'm making 6 figures here. I can race. It was a fun year, but I'm going to come back here. So it sounds like they're looking. It sounds like they've interviewed quite a few people. I don't know that they found, but to the best of my knowledge, they were going to go, him and James Trantino were both going to go to Arizona for the Wild West Shootout. And it sounds like since they don't have any help, they're lacking crew members. They just decided, I think we're going to sit this one out and just get ready for Speed Week. So kind of a bummer there. So, I mean, if you've been around racing a long time, right, and you're like, man, I want to go on the tour, let's be honest, James going to pay good. James Fantino pay good. He's not afraid to pay good. I can tell you that. Sounds like it's full benefits too, right? So I think you get health care and everything. So for the right person, that would like to follow a series that's maybe pitted for somebody, I think it's a good opportunity, right? So, if you're looking, if you want to be like, you know what, I think it would be fun to go on tour for a year, and you should probably give them guys a call, because they're looking for some people. They're looking, I don't think if you're that big party guy that wants to drink every night and be crazy at the racetrack, I don't think they're looking for that kind of guy, right? Dan Ebert's a very serious, straight-laced, detail-oriented type of guy, right? So he's not looking for a bunch of drama. So he wants somebody that you got to kind of fit in with what they are too. Dan's pretty laid back though. I mean, he's serious. He's hard-nosed racer and he's serious. But I think, like I said, for the right person, I think that'd be a hell of an opportunity. So if you're looking for a career in racing, it is worth giving them guys a call and getting yourself an interview over there, because they're looking pretty hard.
When do you start?
What's that?
When do you start?
I think you start immediately. If they hire, if sounds
I mean, when do
me,
you start?
oh, when do I start?
Yeah.
I got too many irons in the fire, and I'm an old guy. I think this is more a young guy deal right here.
I do know a guy, and maybe you can reach out to him. His name's Dan Kalina.
There you go. He's kind of old too, though. Kalina's kind of old too. Probably need a younger guy than that. Yeah, that's. I don't know that he'd be a good fit. I got to be honest with you. But I think a person could start immediately. I think they're doing the interview process, and I think you just essentially start immediately, and you have yourself a full-time job and pretty good pay for what it is. So it's worth looking into. How about a shout out to our boy Mac over at East Central Sports over in Rush City, Minnesota. Right? They you like cool kid shit? That's where you need to go. East Central Sports, right? They got some of the most badass golf carts out there. Then they got pit bikes, right? Toro lawnmowers. They got a whole lot more, right? So give them a call. Give Mac a call, 320-358-1994, or check them out online at www.eastcentralsports.com. Let them know that you heard about them on the One to Go show. You're going to get a $100 discount on your next purchase. And, they're just north of the Twin Cities, Rush City, Minnesota, just off I-35 there. That's East Central Sport. So, guys, we're getting back into the pick'ems. Everything's kind of starting fresh here. Clean slate. The old 71A getting her done last year. Finally, 5th year in. Bert's a 2-time winner. I got one more to catch this guy. Curtis won back-to-back years. And finally I found victory lane. We're gonna do things a little different though this year, Bert. I don't know if we told you. We're gonna keep track of overall draft points, overall pick'ems points, and then there will be an overall champion of the combined two. And the reason we're going to do that, I don't want to mention any names, but Chonga was really crying about this last year.
Yeah, I whined a lot.
Yeah, he cried a lot there, Bert.
Champion.
So I'm not going to mention any names, but Chonga was really whining about this. So, yeah. So
I went back and figured out the points. I won.
I don't think so. He's not very good at math.
Okay.
So
the calculator don't lie, my friend.
The first thing we did is we put together a draft. So we added somebody to the group this year too. We got old Mudflap with us, old Kevin Mudrack down there in Florida, Duluth Denfeld alumni and former race car driver himself. So welcome aboard, Mudder. And he's in I think was he in both your weddings there, Chonga? Probably.
He was for sure at both of them, I would think.
He's for sure at both of them. Yeah, for sure at both, for sure. Yep. So we added him to the group. So now we're 14 strong, or 14.
I was also in his wedding.
Right. There you go. He's smarter than us, though. Right. We're up in the freezing cold. He moved down to Florida. He could be out golfing tomorrow if he wants to. We cannot do that, right? Unless we fly somewhere.
You know what he does though to compensate for it, just to remind himself he's still reffing hockey down there. Told me a story about having to throw a little kid out for swearing at him the other day.
Yeah, he can't get kicked out of the cold. So I was actually over at Sofidel Paper in Duluth.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that is?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so, God dang, I don't remember the guy's name. I think it's.
So you're a mile away from my work. Didn't even say hi.
Yeah, I couldn't get in there with the truck. So I think it's Kenny. I think is the guy's name. He pitted for Mutter a little bit. So we got to talking. We talked racing a little bit, and I told him we added Mutter to the group. He's like, I'm still pissed off from high school. He should have been the starting goalie at Denfeld if it weren't for all the stupid politics. He was the better 100%. Goalie of the two. So 100%. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yep. So let's get to it. So we're doing 6 rounds for the Chili Bowl draft, and we're going to take the top 4 of our prelim nights because it's 5 nights of prelims. So our top 4 best prelim nights will count, and our top 4 on championship Saturday will count. Okay. So Bert, give us your 6 draft picks here. Who do you got?
First round, I took Dazen Persley, then Landon Brooks, RTJ, Frank Flood, Kaylee Bryson, and Gage Weldon. Dazen Persley.
Okay. Repeat them one more time because at least on my end, you froze up for just a quick
second. Sorry. Dazen Persley, Landon Brooks, RTJ, Frank Flood, Kaylee Bryson, and Gage Weldon.
Okay. Chonga, who are your 6?
My first round pick in car 71K, not out of the Beltline Body Shop or Mike Seating and Sheet Metal, is Cannonball McIntosh. My second round pick in car 4KD, Kale Drake. My third round pick in car 71C, G.O.A.T. Fourth one was 21J of PPM, Parker Price
Miller. Okay. Right?
And then my 5th round pick got a New Zealand, the 54NZ, Michael Pickens.
Okay.
And then my last one.
Nickname Cherry.
Yeah, well, hopefully it works, right?
Yeah, Blake Adams' cousin.
Yep, fair enough.
Come on now.
You got to have the sign. And then my 6th round pick at the 12H of Sam Haferteep Jr.
Okay. So I went Corey Day was my first pick. And I got the 2025 Knoxville Nationals champion, Ryan Timms, with pick number 2. I got the USAC National Driver of the Year, Kyle Cummins, with my 3rd pick. I got Chris Wyndham with my 4th pick.
It's a good pick.
Then it gets to my 5th pick, and I'm like, boy, he's got to be one of these TBA guys, right? I'm looking at Facebook and we're looking forward to getting down to the Chili Bowl. I take myself Chase McDermott, and I'm like, oh, I slipped one by you guys. He's not listed on there. Got to be TBA. Looking forward to going on to the Chili Bowl. Well, I look about a week later. Yeah, he's retired. He's going to the Chili Bowl as a car owner. He got 4 cars to bring down there. He ain't racing. So I was talking to Uper, and he's like, here's the deal. Since he's not racing his car owner, you actually get all 4 driver's points.
Yeah, see if that goes over.
I thought it was a good idea. I don't know. So
I'm sure you did.
So I'm already 1 short, right? And then I got then I had the 6th pick, and I'm like, man, I can't have 2 drivers not there, right? And I'm looking, I'm researching, and I'm like, man, Rico Abreu's back, and everything that I've seen is he's not going. But I'm like, could he possibly be a TBA guy and show up? And I messaged him, and I didn't get nothing back. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Then I looked at, and I'm like, everything I'm seeing says Brad Sweet is going. And I'm like, boy. And I looked and I messaged him and I didn't hear anything back. And I'm like, I'm not going to take a chance. So instead I went with Gunnar Setzer, who got 5th in the prelim last year, and he missed transfer by 2 spots in the B. So he had a pretty good year last year. And I went Gunnar Setzer.
These drivers getting emails from a-hole. Who's this Yahoo emailing me asking if I'm going
we
to the
probably
races?
got Bert sitting at home, right? Bert's probably sitting at home going, all right.
Yeah, they probably freaking blocked everybody after Bert messaged them.
Brad Sweet. This is Bert Lehman, former editor of the Full Throttle magazine. If you get a message from Ryan Aho, that is spam, disregard, do not contact him back.
You know what? That happens. There is sabotage like that. That does happen.
Yeah. By the way, hey, Chase McDermott, if Ryan Aho messages say, absolutely, we're going to be at the Chili Bowl, don't tell him that you're not racing, though, right? So that's probably what Bert's been doing. He's probably been setting up all of 2026. Literally, me and you, Charlie, will probably never hear back, and if we do, it's going to be full of bullshit from all these racers. I think Bert's kind of conspiring against us here.
Hey, Bert, I got to tell you this, Bert. So, I'm new to the game. I'm the new guy or a newer guy, right? So, I'm learning to message guys on Facebook, and they don't know who the hell I am. But you know what these guys do? Aho and Tardy and them, they they tell TPO, yeah, are you going here this weekend? Yeah. Well, if Changa messages you, don't reply or just tell him no. So just for the record, if you want to do that, probably have 3 or 4 Facebook profiles.
I don't know what you're talking about. I played the 5th on that one. Mm-hmm. So we are picking a couple races this week. So what do we got? What's going on? Racing started. We did not make the Tulsa shootout, and we did not. I mean, I didn't even watch it, but the Ice Bowl happened down there at I think Seawright dominated down there at Talladega.
Seawright did, and then they had Arrowhead had a race, Comp Cams race, and Dillard won that.
Yeah, Dillard won that. So now we're getting into the pick'ems here. So we got a couple events we're picking. What do we got?
So this week we got the Texas Showdown at I-37 Speedway in Pleasanton, Texas. It's an IMCA mods and stock cars. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, and incidentally there, Bert, I don't know if you noticed or not, but we got to get ourselves a cheese sponsor. You're from Wisconsin. You should line that up, okay? And every time we get somebody in our group saying, why are we picking that race? Oh, my God, why are we picking that? I think we should go ahead, and then we should just send them, right?
Cheese and wine.
Yeah, some kind of cheese, right? Well, they already got the wine down. They already got that. They just need the cheese to go with it.
It's always the same 2 guys, too.
Huh?
It's always the same 2.
Yeah. So we got to jazz them. We should do that for fun. Bert, you're on that. I want a cheese sponsor and just say, all we want to do is, if I can get one thing of cheese every week, we just send it to somebody in the group that's whining. We can do that. That'd be fun.
Okay, and then we're picking the Wild West Shootout at Central Arizona Raceway in Casa Grande, Arizona. Late models, A modifieds, limited modifieds, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, somebody in the group. What's a limited modified? Serious?
Where you been?
Yeah, like
not watch model the last 2 years.
From under that rock. It's a B mod. Okay, that's what a limited mod is. It's a B mod. So I'm jacked up. So my dad is super pumped. Few years back when it was in Arizona. Well, when it was in Arizona, right? Queen Creek over by Mesa. My dad went down there, and him and Harlan Tardy and a few of them, they got park models in the park, and my dad's pumped. He's like, "Oh man, this is gonna be awesome!" Like literally, we're gonna go like we're like 5 minutes from the racetrack. When they have it down here every year, we're gonna go to the Wild West Shootout. Literally about a week and a half after they closed on their place. Well, we're closing the track down, Wild West Shootout, moving to New Mexico. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. My dad was just bummed. He was pissed. Now it's back in central Arizona, about 45 minutes ish from where he lives. So I'm making the trip down, and we're gonna go racing here this week. Pretty excited about that. So I think it's gonna be better though for everything, right? I mean, it was cold as hell. I mean, it's supposed to be a little chilly here this weekend down there, but hell, it snowed at Votto. Nothing against the facility. Good racing. But nobody wants to drive from the north to go down south through a snowstorm. They're just not really all that interested in that. I think there are going to be a lot more people, fans, drivers, everything. I would expect, and I know Blake Adams and Dustin Strand and Lucas Rodin and Scott Bentz and there's TPO. There's a number of drivers going down there. I saw Billy and I think Jaden Christ or Billy Christ is going down there.
Layla and Amelia.
Yeah, the Eisenshanks are going down. So I think Cole Schill's going to be down there. He's going to be running a car for Mueller down there. There's going to be a lot more than that. I would expect to see way more WISSOTA area cars here than we're at Votto. I think that's going to be the case, which is, I mean, let's face it. I mean, the snowbirds from Minnesota, Wisconsin, North, South Dakota, they go to Arizona, right? So it's just going to be a whole better deal all around. So pretty excited about that. And I will say this, is this the most star-studded late model field they've had at the Wild West Shootout in a while?
In a while, yeah. I think part of it is because of the track change.
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, it's almost who's who in dirt late model racing that's going to be there.
Right. Yeah. It's a pretty stacked field now. Chonga's boyfriend, I mean, Bobby Pierce dominated kind of the last 2 years, right? He's going to do that again. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, not that there was nobody down there. They had a few guys to race against, but it's, tougher now. Should we expect to see him still dominate this deal?
So this is my opinion. He's going to a track that's rounder and sandier. I can't bode well for him.
Yeah.
And then when you add in Jonathan Davenport, Ricky Thornton Jr., and all the rowdy friends, that can't be good either.
Right.
Well, he's probably only going to win 2.
Well, you win 2 out of the 6 with that group. That's pretty good, right? So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we'll probably talk more about this in our pick'ems in just a second, but I'm pretty fired up for it. Hopefully, they get a good turnout down there, and we will have some information from down there. And maybe if I get bored, I might even get on and maybe do a live or something with somebody. We'll see how things go when I'm down there.
How do I get there by Saturday?
Airplane.
All right, send me a ticket. I'm there.
Really?
Well, how are we going to get Colton to his hockey tournament?
see this, Bert? Literally, he said, "You give me a ticket, I'll go." All right, well, I could probably make that happen. Okay. And the minute I say really, and then he's like, "Well, maybe not.
Oh, no. I didn't say maybe not. I says, how are we getting Colton to his hockey? We got to worry about that too. This is Mom's working all weekend.
They all work all weekend. I mean, back when I was in hockey, Bert, back in the day,
he isn't going to walk 135 miles to his game.
We lived a mile out of town. It was way colder, way more snow. I had to walk uphill both ways through 2 feet of snow, carrying my bag on my back to go to hockey. Huh?
How far?
Well, a mile out of town, so it's probably 2 miles to the rink.
Okay, this is 135 miles.
135 miles to hockey?
Yeah.
He's got a thumb. You walk down the road. I mean, a lot of people be like, "Hey, a little kid carrying hockey equipment. We better give this kid a ride, right?" That sounds safe.
Or maybe I just bring him with me and he skips hockey tournament.
You can do that too. See, there you go.
I need 2 tickets.
All right, we've got all kinds of solutions. We can maybe talk about that. So we do have a new sponsor for the show here. We got a new sponsor. You boys like coffee? Bert, you drink coffee at all? A little bit.
I do not drink coffee.
Nope. Would you agree that coffee is the #1 consumed beverage in the world next to water?
It would not surprise me. Yes.
Yep. Now, would you agree that a lot of people are looking to be healthier, right? Whether they want to lose some weight, whether they want joints to feel better, mental clarity, more energy. Well,
Their
this
heart to
product,
tick.
yeah, they want their heart to tick, right? Get rid of them energy drinks. Got a product here, Agara Coffee. Agara Coffee. It's a functional coffee that actually it tastes great if you're a coffee person. Actually, you can mix this stuff too. You know, whether you mix it in iced tea, you put it in any beverage. You mix it right in. A lot of great health benefits for people. I actually talked to people already got some great results, like that had some serious joint pain, and they're like, "Holy crap! I drank this coffee for a week. I feel better than I felt in years." So
I need
uh,
some samples.
you need some samples? I can get you some
Mhm.
samples. Yeah. So hit me up for some information. I can send maybe somebody a link or whatever to learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, definitely if you're a coffee drinker and you want a healthy option, again, 218-969-1380. Hit me up on Messenger, text me, whatever. I can get you some samples out. You can try it and point you in the right direction on where to get it. That's Agara Coffee. So bold predictions. Bold predictions. So me and Youper kind of went through it, and there was a bunch that came off the board. And instead of reading through all of them that happened literally 2 months ago, we're just going to go over the point standings here from the 2025 season. And Changa, feeling pretty good about this here. So we got coming in fourth, Bert Lehman. In his defense, he missed the last month or so. So he got fourth there in the correct predictions and 31.8 on correct percentage. Okay. In third with 37 correct, 37.8. So third in correct predictions and in the correct percentage, that was Youper. Okay. Changa, who got second there, buddy?
Apparently, I did because you were pumping your shirt.
Nope, I got second. I tied with him. I got second. So me and Youper both had 37 correct. Now, Bert, here's how you lose by being a dumbass. One of my predictions towards the end was in the World of Outlaw in the late models at the World Finals, the driver with the best average finish would be a non-World of Outlaw or non-Lucas Oil driver.
Ooh, Madden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking Madden, right? That is like a recipe. That's like one against the entire field. That is like
Right.
I just
Right.
simply don't want to win this, so I'm going to be a dumbass and I'm going to do this. On the flip side, you got and I had 38.9%, which that lost by 1.1 to you also. On the flip side, you got Changa out there with there'll be races on Saturday, stuff like that. King of the tap-ins, right? So
Here we
congratulations,
go.
Changa.
Here we go. What was my percentage and my right? Correct.
38 correct.
Okay, so I had one more. So I'm really doing tap ins, right?
Yeah, 38 correct. And I had one, and I don't have it in front of me here, and we had to research on if it was correct or not that I just missed on, and we would have tied.
Yeah,
And
well, I had one that I didn't get credit for that if we go back and listen, I will get credit for.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
100%.
percent you said that he got you covered. But anyway, you had 38 correct. I had 37. Youper had 37. It don't get much
Oh,
closer than
what
that.
was my percent?
40. 40% right on the nuts, and then I had 38.9. So
Well,
it was down to the wire at the end. We probably should have picked a couple more weeks there. Is probably what we should have did.
I think I was lobbying for it.
Yeah, you probably would have won by more though. So, all right, guys, let's close out the show here. With our predictions here for this week to start out. And guys, what we're gonna do is we have a group chat between us and Youper, so that way it just makes his life easier. We're gonna send our predictions into him so he doesn't have to pause and do all that. All right. Plus, he gets pretty creative on how he abbreviates and write things down. Like, so half the time he jots down a little note, and he's like, I don't even know what that means. I gotta look back to see what it
Big
was.
when I don't know, and then this might be a terrible idea, but maybe we shouldn't go out more than a month because
Well, no,
shit
we
gets
can't.
lost in translation.
But if we have the text message there and all that, if we do that properly, we'll be fine. All right, so we're gonna start. We'll start with Bert. we'll go to Changa, then I got Youpers, then I got mine. 3 laps around the track to start off the 2026 season. Bert, what is your first one?
All right, I'm gonna go. Superman will have at least as many feature wins as Bobby Pierce in the Wild West Shootout.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's bold.
All right. Superman at least as many. So they're going to have the same or more. Okay. Superman at least as many as Pierce. All right. Changa?
Okay, I'll go super bold. I'm gonna go BP32 wins the Wild West Shootout overall points.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty bold. It's a star-studded field. I mean,
Yeah,
a
I
little bit
know.
of that's bold. All right. Youper is also going to go to the Wild West Shootout, but he's going to stick to this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. RTJ is going to podium both nights and win at least one of them this week. And he said both nights have to happen for this to count. So both nights have to happen for it to count. RTJ podiums both nights, wins at least.
Oh, God. God, I got to start off the year that way. Do I really got to start off the year this way?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm going to go Wild West Shootout as well. I'm going to go just Saturday and Sunday this weekend, okay? Mods and limited mods. I'm sorry, I don't have faith in the Wasota guys in the late models to podium. Sorry. Okay. But in the mods and limited mods this weekend, there will be at least 4 podiums Saturday and Sunday between the mods and limited mods.
Off the record, who are they?
I don't even know if he's going. But if he does, I think Jake Smith would be one.
Yeah, he's always down there.
Could be both good. Lucas Rodin. Could be. Blake Adams. I could see him.
Is Blake running a mod and a limited mod?
I think he's just running a mod. Scott Dintz runs well down there. I could see him running up front. I don't know. I don't think TPO. I don't know if TPO and Strand are bringing. I think Strand's bringing them on. I can see Dustin Strand. I think he's bringing them on. Huh?
I didn't know. I saw
I don't think
pictures of the
Strand's
late
bringing a late
model.
model. Yeah, I don't think he's bringing a late model. I mean, I would expect Strand to bring a mod, so I could see him up there. So, yeah, this weekend, just the 2 nights, at least 4 podiums for Wasota drivers.
Wow. Okay. I like it.
All right, Bert, back to you.
Wait. We got Youpers, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. This is a combo. RTJ will finish in the top 15 at the Chili Bowl and also win at least one feature in the Wild West Shootout.
Wow. That's bold.
RTJ top 15 in the Chili Bowl and win at least one at the Wild West Shootout. Okay. That's interesting that he's doing both because somebody asked Nick Hoffman, are you going to the Wild West Shootout? No, I'm going to the Chili Bowl. RTJ is like, hold my beer. I'll do both. I'm good.
And Drake Troutman is too.
Yeah, Drake Troutman is too. Yeah, so Nick Hoffman, I mean, if you don't know how to curve a hat, you're probably a little soft. I'm just going to say it. It just is what it is. All right.
So doesn't RTJ have a straight, Bill?
He does. He does. We pretend to ignore that. But the fact is, I'm telling you right now, that top 15 in the Chili Bowl is bold all by itself.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, to parlay that, you're pretty brave. There ain't nobody giving you. Nobody's
that's why it's called bold prediction. See, I actually think whoever has the lowest percentage is actually the winner because it's supposed to be bold prediction.
The wiener. Why do you want to be a wiener?
Yeah, the wiener, not the winner. Yeah. All right, Changa, what do you got?
I need to do this. I need you to help me on this one, okay? Read me Youper's first pick again.
RTJ's gonna podium both nights and win at least one this weekend.
Okay.
In the late model.
So I hate to do this, but it's just so much freaking fun, right? Okay. And I'm going to do, and the only reason I'm doing this is because he told me and the whole group that he's turned over a new leaf, right? Or, he's going to be nice Jeff this year instead of angry Jeff saying F this person, F that person, mostly Changa, right? But so I'm going to say this weekend, RTJ no wins and one or less podiums.
I love it. Uper's going to have a heart attack. Kind of worried about his health after he hears that, but I love it. I like it. All right. So he's going to go. He's going to go this weekend.
No, both races have to happen to count.
Okay. He's going to go. Brandon Shepard is going to be the only non-Longhorn to podium in the late models this weekend at the Wild West Shootout. B-Shep, and he put on there, both races have to count, both races have to happen. Now, the weather looks good. It's Arizona, but I kind of laughed when I saw that because I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of making it more bold because if he goes out night one and gets a podium, that eliminates anybody else from getting it. So I'm like, all right, well, cool. You're going to be more bold with it. So B-Shep, the only non-Longhorn to podium this weekend in the late model. All right. My second one here, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start off by doing something Chonga just absolutely hates, and I'm just going to go ahead and, because it's fresh on my mind, right? We were talking about Madden in the Infinity house car, okay? I don't even know how many he won this past year, but Madden will win more races in 2026, and I don't care if he's in 7 different chassis brands. It's Madden. Who knows? But Madden will end the season in 2026 with more wins than he had in 2025.
Why would I hate that? I could give two craps less about that.
Because you hate when I push him out. You literally just said, well, we shouldn't go more than 30
well,
days
no, I was
out.
just trying to make it easier
out.
on Uper. I don't care. I was just trying to make it easier on Uper.
Gotcha. So, yep, Madden, more wins in 2026 than 2025. All right. Bert, back to you. Third lap around the track.
All right, it's called bold predictions for a reason. My last one, Changa is going to win the Chili Bowl draft.
What? What?
Huh. All right. That's bold. That is bold. I hope you jinxed him with that. That's bold.
Well,
all right.
see, this is the reverse psychology. So if I pick you, because I mean, I wasn't on the show at the end of the year last year, and I just have to relay my Gateway Nationals team. We picked 6 drivers. I picked 3 late model drivers, and my 3 late model drivers didn't even make a single lap in a heat race because they all either blew an engine or crashed in qualifying or hot laps.
So you're trying to jinx me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 3 guys.
Out of everybody in the group, why me, Bert? I thought I was your friend.
I had 3 guys crash in time trials. Also,
so did I.
And I had Michael Lung sell his car a week before the Gateway Internationals.
I had a guy's fuel cell fly out in the middle of the freaking track in time trials.
Yeah, we were a hot mess in the draft. We did not fare well. I don't remember who won that. Was it? I think Tardy won that, right?
Well, maybe, I don't know. I didn't do bad. I think I got 3rd.
Yeah, I think I got like 82nd or something.
Yeah,
like
maybe
that.
I got 92nd then.
Yeah, I did pretty good. All right, so you made your 3rd one there, Chonga?
I had 3 written down, and I'm changing freaking 2 of the 3. Because since you pushed one out, I'm going to push one out.
All right.
I'm going to go to National Sprint Car Touring Series between the High Limits and the World of Outlaws. Okay? One or both series will have a new champion this year.
One or both series, new champion. Off the record.
Off the record, I think it's going to be Buddy Kofoid and your boy, Aaron Reitzel.
Or Tyler Courtney, maybe, right?
I don't know. It's been a while for him. It's been a minute since he's been in a car, but
you'll be all right. Just like riding a bike. You'll be all right.
One or both.
One or both has a new champion. I like it.
All right.
All right. So Uper's 3rd one here. Back to the Wild West Shootout, Saturday, Sunday. Both races need to happen. There will be at least one Eisenshank in the late model A main each night.
Nice. All right.
Well, that's bold. That's full. I know he must not have looked at the star-studded field. I think that's pretty. That'd be super cool to see. I don't remember which one. I think it was Layla. She was really fast in the heat race at Gateway Dirt Nationals, and then just overdrove a little bit and got into that guy and ended up getting turned around. But she, and I
That's
was like,
heartbreaking.
yeah, it looked like she was going to get in the feature on prelim night. I'm gonna go with my third one. I got two sitting here, and I actually had that I was going to beat you in the draft this week, but I'm.
But you're scared. Come on, go with it. I was going to call you a name, but it was not PG-13, so I just left it out. Yeah, he's scared.
Well, I got two. I can talk this out, right? My first
No,
one.
no. Go with that one that you're going to beat me in the draft because you're scared.
I think I'm gonna anyway.
Okay, well then go with it then.
So I got the other one that I have here is I got JD and RTJ.
Do I ever beat anybody in a draft?
Yeah, right. I got JD and RTJ would have a better average finish this week than Pierce and Huddy. That would be my other one. So
I think you'd be. I think you'd JD and RTJ better than Pierce and Huddy. I'll take Pierce and Huddy.
So I'm gonna go ahead and
go with the other one though. It's more fun.
I'm gonna whoop the shit out of you in the draft. That's my third prediction.
I'll
beat you in the Chili Bowl draft. All right, there it is.
That's what I like to hear.
There it is. All right, so I'm gonna double up on that. Not only am I gonna beat you in the draft, and I'm gonna get more points here, so that's gonna be good.
That's a double whammy right there.
Doubling up, not hedging it at all on that one. So, anything else? Anything else new in Eastern Wisconsin, Bert, that you heard over the last month? Anything going on over there before we sign off here?
Well, Mike Mullen's car owner is getting out of dirt racing, so Mike Mullen, who won the Dirt Kings Championship, will not be in a late model this year.
Bert's got a robot voice going on.
Yes,
not sure what his racing plans are this season up.
Yeah, you must be getting a phone call or a text or something. It froze up, so
no.
Yep. No. All right, so we lost you at Mike Mullen. He's not going to be in a late model. Not going to be in a late model.
Yeah. No, his car owner is getting out of dirt racing, so he will not be in a late model this year. I don't know. It's going to be interesting with the late models in Eastern Wisconsin. They're scheduled to race at Shawano Speedway only 1 or 2 times per month. Plymouth, they'll have the Super 6 series there, and then they'll race occasionally at Seymour. So unfortunately, I think the late model division in Eastern Wisconsin is spiraling in the wrong direction.
Bert, why the heck did they push the whole shortening the track back an extra year?
Well, it actually hasn't been approved yet. It still has to go through. It passed a committee, but it has to go through at least 1 or 2 more committees before it goes to the entire county board.
They shouldn't even push nothing. Just shorten the damn thing. Don't tell nobody. Guess what? We got a 3/8.
That's how the political structure works, unfortunately.
Well, I don't remember who I saw. Somebody actually had a post online about Shawano, and they're like, their original plans were just to leave the track and then just shorten the one end and kind of and then somebody posted on there. They're like, well, man, then you got a big giant circle. Right. Maybe so I know there's some people, I don't know what's going to happen, but they're kind of pushing let's narrow it up too, and and shorten it. But I guess I don't know exactly what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I think what's being discussed is they're just going to move the corners in. But yeah, I think you need to actually redesign the track a little bit, because you only get one shot at this. Right. So do it right the first time.
Yeah, because we're talking big, wide, sweeping corners. That's fine on a half mile, but when you get on a small 3/8, then big. It'd be longer. It'd be just as long across the track as the straightaways are. So hopefully they just put some thought into it, like you said, and when they do it, hit a home run on it when you do it. That's about all you can hope for.
Right. So that's that's the main. Those are the main things that are going on in eastern Wisconsin right now. So it's kind of quiet. It's in January, so um, end of this month there'll be a racing show in Luxembourg. They have a yearly where vendors come in and sell stuff and that sort of thing. So probably hear a lot of rumors and information there.
Tonga, anything in the Twin Ports? Any rumor
Well,
mill going over there?
not so much in the Twin Ports, but the way the weather's been, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw just an impromptu race scheduled in Hibbing anytime soon. I mean, that could happen.
Well, funny you said that, right? Because there's actually talks that they're going to have a winter enduro.
Mm-hmm.
So keep an eye on the Hibbing Speedway Facebook page. They're actually, I don't know, I haven't seen if it's official yet, but there's talks that there could be an enduro. I also heard a little bit of a buzz that um rumor has it Eric Erickson stepped down as president at ABC Raceway.
Really?
Yeah, so a ton of years. I mean, a lot of commitment over there in Ashland, right?
Done
Sounds
a
like
lot of good.
yeah, sounds like he wants to kind of step away, be done with that. They currently don't have anybody in that role. I don't know if it's a board deal, so I'm sure they have meetings and all that. A lot of rumors. I heard there's some prominent people in the racing community maybe potentially wanting to buy the track or lease it. So interesting things happening over at the ABC Raceway right now.
Isn't
A
that a
lot of
company run place?
well, it's county. It's county owned. I think. You know what? I don't know who actually owns the facility. I don't know if the county, if Bayfield,
It's the Ashland Bayfield County.
yeah, Speedway, yeah. So I
Mhm.
don't know if it's county owned and it's a board. I think it is. I think the association leases it. I don't think they actually own the land. I'm not 100% positive on that, but I'm just getting bits and pieces from a few different areas. So I don't want to put too much out there because I don't know. You kind of got to filter through everything, but just kind of keep an eye on the ABC Raceway over the next 30 days, maybe, to see if something different happens moving forward to the 2026 season. So, kind of interesting stuff. So,
Well,
with that said, boys, good to
I
be
got
back.
one more question.
Oh, there you go.
Does Rain Man Curtis, does he listen to the show?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Curtis, just wanted to leave you with this. Go Bears.
Well, you got Bert on here too. He's a Packer
Yeah,
fan.
but I'm not going to be mean to Bert because I like Bert.
Oh, well, you
Not
don't
that I
like
don't like
Curtis?
not that I don't like Curtis, but he was
Why don't
talking
you
some
like
smack.
Curtis?
He
I
was
like
talking
Curtis.
he was talking I like Curtis too, but he was talking some mean things on the group chat today. So
All right. Well, I'm not going to get in that conversation because my Vikings kind of sucked ass this year. So I do live in Illinois, though. So I guess I will definitely cheer for the Bears over the Packers. But I can't say, let's end with this, right? We're all football fans here. You're more of a hockey guy, but we're all football fans too. Myself, if I wouldn't bet money on I have no idea what the hell is going to happen this year. I mean, there does not look like there's a clear defined favorite in the AFC or NFC.
All right.
So let's just go with our way too early. Let's just go with this weekend's games, right?
just tell me who's in the Super Bowl, who
Yeah,
wins it, and
let's
why.
do that. Give us Bert right now our way too, and we can redo this next week.
Yeah.
Right now, before Super Wild Card Weekend, your Super Bowl predictions, right now.
The Rams in the NFC, and I'll go with the Broncos in the AFC.
Who wins?
I will say the Rams.
Okay, Changa.
So my thought process, and I don't know, I mean, in my mind, all of your playoff quarterbacks, there's two elite ones. There's some good ones, but there's two elite that I would put on elite. I would say Josh Allen's elite, Matthew Stafford's elite. In my mind. I could be wrong on that. So I'm going to take Bills, Rams, and the Rams win.
Oh, the Bills are going to lose their fifth Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, that's what we want, right?
All right. Oh boy, I want to see the Bills go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I'm
But
a Josh
I
they're
Allen
don't think they're
their
very
defense
good. I don't think
their,
they're very good, but Josh
No.
Allen can be like
their
Houdini.
defense is not good.
Oh,
No, their defense is terrible. Hmm. in the NFC, just because it would be the most Vikings thing ever. Seahawks, that defense, best defense in the NFC for sure. Their defense is good. Slinging Sammy Darnold and Minneapolis. You think there's been a riot there before? They'll burn the whole city down if he goes to the Super Bowl. All we'll see all over Facebook is like, oh, there you go. There's the guy you got rid of going to the Super Bowl, right? So I'll pick them, and then in the AFC, boy, they say defense wins championships, right? Um, that Texans defense is good. I right now, and I don't even know if they're going to get by Pittsburgh, to be honest with you. But I'll take Texans, Seahawks. Seahawks win the Super Bowl, and all the Minnesota Vikings fans are about ready to jump off a bridge. That would be the most Vikings thing ever, without a doubt. And I'm kind of cheering for Sammy Darnold. I like the guy. I think it's good to see. It's good to see somebody resurrect his career. So, with that said, episode 288, boys. Let's watch some racing this weekend. And thanks for tuning in to the One to Go show.
Peace. Gotta learn this too, huh?
I do.